Have you ever felt as if your life was overwhelmed by all the pressures that surround you and all the struggles that have found you? Well, now don't you hide your light. Take a chance and open wide. And you can be the change. You can be the change. You can be the change that you want to see, and the world will change if you be the change. If you be the change that you want to see in the world. Well, have you ever thought that you are powerless and flawed? Have you questioned, who am I? What can I do with one small life? Well, don't you hide your light. Bring it forth and let it shine. And you will be the change. You will be the change. You will be the change that you want to see, and the world will change if you be the change. If you be the change that you want to see in the world. Well, gather around this song, my friends. Sing it loud and raise your hands. And as we sing, we'll start to shine. We'll become a nation made of light. We will be the change. We will be the change. We will be the change that we want to see, and the world will change if we be the change. If we be the change that we want to see, and the world will change when we be the change. When we be the change that we want to see in the world.
Well, if you want to be loved, you got to see love. And if you want to see love, you got to be love. And if you want to be loved, you got to see love. And if you want to see love, you got to be love. Well, no, there ain't no other way, man. 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 So say, Jah, 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 oh, oh, oh. Be love, see love, oh, 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 be love, yeah, yeah, see love. Well, if you want to be loved, you got to see love. And if you want to see love, you got to be love. And if you want to be loved, you got to see love. And if you want to see love, you got to be love. Oh, no, there ain't no other way, man. 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 I so say, Jah, oh, be love, see love, be love, see love, be love, oh, see love, yeah, be love. See love, be love, see love. You want to love, you got to see love. You want to see love, you got to be love. You want to love, you got to see love. You want to see love, you got to be love. You got to see love. You want to see love. You got to be love. Be love. Whoa, 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 whoa. See love. Yeah. Be love. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See love. You want to love. You got to see love. You want to see love. You got to be loved. You want to be loved. You got to see love. You want to see love. You got to be loved. You want to be loved. You got to see love. You want to see love. You got to be loved. You want to be loved. You got to see love. You want to see love. You got to be loved. You want to be loved. You got to see love. You want to see love. You got to be loved.
If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? No, not fortune or fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue. Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve
It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal. It's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue. Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller 'cause of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time?
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster online. My name is Reverend Rhona Segarra, and I am ready to welcome you today. Please join us in our opening song, See God in Every Face.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed.
We come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold we are divine. Lift up our hands, lift up our hearts, oh, lift up our vision, lift it to the stars, dance in the glory, whirl in the grace, see God in every face, see God in every face. We come together to behold the power of love, the power of light. We come together to behold we are divine. Lift up our hands, lift up our hearts, oh, lift up our vision, lift it to the stars, dance in the glory, whirl in the grace, see God in every face, see God in every face. We come together to behold the power of love, power of light. We come together to behold we are divine. Lift up our hands, lift up our hearts, oh, lift up our vision, lift it to the stars, dance in the glory, whirl in the grace, see God in every face, see God in every face, see God in every face, see God in every face. Hey!
Welcome back, and once again, welcome to all of you, whether you are watching on YouTube, on Facebook Live, on Zoom, or later to a recording, or through our website, and then through a recording. It is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of our spiritual community, and I wish we could be together in person and meet each other that way. If you are joining us for the very first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy your experience with us today. And if you would like to be added to our email newsletter, please just pop onto our website and subscribe. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe. It helps to build our recognition and hopefully get the message that we are sharing with the world out to the world.
And I'm sorry for starting with a
And
wrong
Walt
song.
apologizes most profusely for starting with the song that is at the end of the service. But you know, life happens. These things happen. We roll with it. Not important. Really, really, really not important. The Unity movement shares spiritual principles for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example. And we honor that there is wisdom in faith traditions all over the planet. In fact, there is wisdom in story, there is wisdom in poetry and in song. Wherever we can feel inspired, wherever something touches our heart and opens it into an expansive new way of looking at the world, we honor all paths. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. We begin our service as we always do, with a time of centering and affirmative prayer. So I invite you, if it is comfortable for you, to close your eyes with me as we relax for a moment and arrive here. We are so grateful that we can come together in this place. I stand speaking to you from South Surrey White Rock, the land that is traditional to the Semiahmoo First Nation. It is the land on which I live, I work, and I play. We're so grateful for the technology that allows us to come together, heart to heart, mind to mind. A reminder that we need not be physically present with each other to be connected with each other. We believe there is one presence, one power. One power. That power is understood by many names. Some call God, some call Yahweh, others call Allah. Some call the force, others call nature, life, quantum field. By whatever of thousands of names that we have for our understanding of that one power, we recognize that we are one within it, that there is no place that is absent from that power. And as such, we are expressions of that power, and we express that power. And so we express love, peace, contentment from ourselves and radiating to every being on this planet. Every being. And in this truth, in this intention, in this power, we stand with gratitude. And so it is. Amen. I welcome you again, and I want to introduce someone who is the leader of our service team at Unity New Westminster Spiritual Community, who will be reading the daily word for us. Sharon Blackwell is the person who takes care of our entire greeting team. And I am so overjoyed that she can be part of our service this morning, reading our daily word.
The word of the day is fearless. I am fearless as I live authentically. In the past, I may have hidden my inner light, afraid of myself. I may have tried to please others by conforming to someone else's idea of who I should be. I may have shrunk from an aspiration, fearing that I would fail in the pursuit of my goal. I may have doubted the divine perfection of the core of my spiritual self, identifying with my perceived flaws and feeling small and inadequate. Today I make a new choice. I choose to live fearlessly, drawing upon my faith to believe in myself, my imagination to envision my best life, and my understanding to know my divinity. Bold and brave, I am fearless as I live my life authentically, pursue my dreams, and express my divine nature. And Deuteronomy 31:6, be strong and brave, no fear or dread, because it is your Lord your God who goes with you. He will not fail you or forsake you.
Lately I've been noticing how much I've been blessed with people to love, peace of mind and happiness. It makes me want to pass along the love I receive as a way of giving thanks for what's been given to me. I've got a strong heart and I'm ready. I've got a strong love and I'm ready. And I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I used to have a need for more that bordered on greed, till I looked around and found that I had more than I need. I thought I had to have it all before I could share, till I realized what's mine to give has always been there. I've got a strong heart and I'm ready. I got a strong love and I'm ready. And I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. Well, I may not make a difference that the whole world can see, but if I can show more kindness, that's what matters to me. I'm changing on the outside, finding gray in my hair, but the difference on the inside is that I don't care. I'm losing my desire to be what I'm not, and I have what I want, 'cause I want what I've got. I've got a strong heart, and I'm ready. I've got a strong love, and I'm ready. And I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. And yeah, 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 oh, and I'm ready.
Contentment, a state of happiness and satisfaction. Have you ever wished that you could have a recipe for contentment in your life? Have you ever wondered what are the ingredients that I could pull together, and if I put them into a mixture called my life, that I would have this feeling of contentment, of happiness, of satisfaction? Well, as you know, or may know, we are embarking on spirit groups this week. And one of the frameworks that spirit groups provides is what I consider a recipe for contentment. In spirit groups, each group will be invited to embrace 5 C's as part of their group. Those C's are communion, connection, compassion, community, and challenge. And as I was reflecting on these 5 C's and how they would show up in our spirit groups, in these small groups that we will encourage everybody to join in our ministry, I realized that those groups are already representative in our spiritual community. We just have different names for them. And then I realized that if that works for our spiritual community, maybe it would work to have those 5 C's as part of our everyday lives, as a map, if you will, for how we might live a life that is properly in balance, properly managed, with nothing being too big and too small and room for all of it. And if we did so, that feeling of contentment, that we've got this, that everything is in its rightful place. And so today, I want to share with you 5 C's for contentment. We'll talk about how they show up in our community already, how we expect and hope that they will show up in a spirit group, in a small group setting, and then how we might integrate that into our everyday life. Now, one thing to note about spirit groups is it sounds like a fancy title, and the reason for that is that it is just a little bit more than just an ad hoc small group. With spirit groups, the whole idea is to connect with each other, but it's also to help us connect with ourselves. And so the framework is not simply a group that might like to knit together, or like to write together, or like to study together, but that the group itself also has some cohesion and a framework for operating. So we look at the first C, communion. Communion is the idea of loving ourselves and loving the God of our faith, and taking time to be in communion with ourselves and the God of our faith. Communion is the time where we might sit in silence, unplugged, where we might sit in silence, unbusy, where we might sit in silence, open to new insights, open to whatever wisdom is waiting to bubble forth from within us. It is a chance for us to pray, a chance for us to appreciate what we have, who we are, and how we love. Communion is the invitation to become inspired, to reflect, to reset who we are, to intend who we are. And it is the fourth unity principle that in reflection and meditation and prayer that we connect to our higher power, to the wisdom within us, to the love within us, to the most loving response within us. And all of that sounds fantastic. And so few of us take the time to do it. It is countercultural for us to be still. We live in a place, in a culture, where being still equates with laziness or with not getting anything done. And so we resist this idea of sitting in a place that is quiet, or even going for a walk without our headphones on, or just being in a place where we are open without any agenda or outcome. The problem is when we don't connect with that source, there is a sense of drifting that can happen, a sense of lack of purpose, of working on autopilot, always rushing, always doing, always on task. And sometimes as a result of that, we have this longing within us for something more. So if you are in that place where you're longing for something more, my invitation to you is that you take some time every day for yourself, with no guilt, with no shame, knowing that the consequence of you doing so is actually going to make you more productive, more focused, more aligned with your purpose. So what are some of the ways that you might consider implementing this message of communion with yourself, with your higher power? Perhaps one of the things you could commit to doing is every day beginning your day by reading something inspirational, whether it's the daily word or any one of thousands of inspiring daily reflections. Perhaps it's putting on some meditation music, or music that soothes you, and just sitting in silence for 5 minutes. Maybe it's just lighting a candle, closing your eyes and becoming appreciative. All of these simple, implementable things can help to restore you. And in that restoration and appreciation, you will find clarity of purpose and a sense of wellness and wholeness in your being. Contentment. It does mean learning to be okay with doing nothing. And that is very difficult for some people. Moi, particularly, and I'm sure that there are others out there who are like me. I won't watch TV unless I'm playing on the computer. My phone is never further than a arm's length away. It is uncomfortable to be in that place. And I encourage each of us to do that anyway. Communion. In our own spiritual community, we see communion expressed in our prayer service every Thursday. That time that we take intentionally, each of us, to come together and pray. In our spirit groups, we hope that the spirit group will open with someone sharing an inspirational quote or leading a meditation or a prayer. Communion is our setting ourselves up for the day. So we move then to connection. If communion is about our relationship to ourself and our relationship to whatever the God of our faith is, then connection is about our relationship to others, to the people we know, to our families, to the people we are already in relationship with. Now, in our church community, we see this expressed in our greeting team. People like Gisela and Greta and Allison and Rudy. The people Gladys, who are there to hold people, greet people, see them as they welcome in, as they come in, welcoming them. We see it in our hospitality team. Everybody who works in the kitchen and helps to feed people. And of course, everything I'm talking about is about, those good old days pre-pandemic. And one of the questions that we are asking now is, how do we create meaningful connections without being able to be in each other's presence and breaking bread together? Without being in a place where we can receive each other and welcome each other with hugs and smiles and eye contact, proximity even. How do we now, in this time, connect with the people we love? Do we make our connections a priority? Thankfully, we have Zoom, and Zoom makes all the difference in terms of helping people to connect. But a lot of people are feeling what they call Zoom-exhaustion, that they're so tired of being on Zoom that they're just wanting to kind of curl into a cocoon and hide for a while, and I completely get that. And I'm going to encourage you to make the effort to reach out. Remember the old commercial, it may have been Bell Telephone, that was reach out and touch someone, and it was about speaking on the phone. How do we make our connections meaningful? First, we make the effort to connect. We reach out and touch someone. Next, we think of how we can show up in these relationships. Where are we meeting them? What is the basis of our meetings when we connect with them? Is it something that is a meaningful connection? Or do we actually find that we meet each other at such a superficial level that maybe we're not really talking to each other about each other? Maybe one of the ways we connect is to talk with each other about someone else. There is no depth in that kind of connection. So my encouragement to you today is to reach out and touch someone in a meaningful way. That means no fixing, no gossiping, no telling the other person what they could or should be doing unless you are asked, but instead being right where they are and letting them know that you appreciate them for who they are, right where they are. This week, speak to the highest and best that you see in each other. One of the ways that we can benefit from connection is to ask ourselves the question, how am I showing up? Am I showing up wanting to gossip? Am I showing up wanting to have an organ recital about all the things that are wrong with every organ in my body? Thank you, June Burnham, for that idea. Am I showing up happy to see someone and letting them know that? Or am I showing up already frustrated, angry, grumpy? What is the quality and depth of my relationship? And how can I expand it into something greater? We move then to compassion. And in compassion, we talk about loving each other in a demonstrable way. Compassion isn't just about the sad times, but also the happy times. It's about putting ourselves in the other person's shoes and then delivering what you imagine that they might appreciate. In Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, Jesus says, "Whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them." We know this as the golden rule. The whole idea of compassion is that we demonstrate love. We demonstrate our love for another person. It's a different feeling than connection. Connection is that social, let's go for coffee, let's have a friendship. But compassion is taking care and celebrating, or taking care and being there to support in sadness. In our community, we see this in our prayer ministry, where we have a prayer chain, where we send cards to people who are in hospital and who are recovering. We send cards to people who are grieving. We send cards to people for exciting, happy things as well. The whole idea of compassion is the sense of connecting with each other at the heart level and understanding how important it is to do so. Now, remember, I mentioned that it's not just for sad things. So my mom demonstrates compassion with birthdays. So it doesn't matter whose birthday it is and how we want to play it down because we're getting too old or whatever it might be. She will insist that there is at least one birthday cake sometimes two. She will insist that there are potato chips on the table, that there are peanuts and nuts and all kinds of refreshments. And what I recognize now, as I get older, is that what that is a compassionate response to a celebration. It is actually a way of saying, wow, I know this day is important to you and you are important to me, so I am going to do this to celebrate you. Consider, what can you do to demonstrate a celebration in a compassionate way? And then, of course, compassion is the other. It's being with someone when they are in pain. It's letting that person know that you are there for them. And the most powerful image I can share with you for that is the idea of a hand or a bowl or an inverted pyramid of some kind, where you are metaphorically imagining this person surrounded by your loving hands. You're not taking their pain from them because you cannot. You're not hurrying them along because you cannot. You are not holding them back because you cannot. But what you can do is hold someone, cushion them in your intention for their wholeness, for their love, for their healing, and walk with them as they journey in whatever challenge they are facing. The hardest thing is to be with them without wanting to take their pain away. Of course. And yet we can't. It is not our place to take somebody's pain away. It is our place to allow them the space to feel and process. Compassion. This willingness to be in somebody else's experience with them and support them positively, whether they are experiencing a happy moment or a challenging one. And then the next C, community. In the Spirit Group's framework, this community idea is the idea of giving outside of your existing circle. It is becoming involved with people who you may not be familiar with. It's a sense of recognizing inclusion. It's recognizing that there are others out there that you may not agree with, but who have equally valid ideas. It's a way of remembering that we're part of something bigger. And then if we have something that we can give, and we all have gifts, then this is our opportunity to make a difference for people by connecting with people who we may never have met and who may never ever meet us. Community is the reminder that we are part of something greater than us. And even though our tendency is to stay within our small group of friends and family, people who believe the way we do, people who look the way we do. The idea of community is to remind us that there are others who think and behave differently, and to be okay with that. In fact, not just to be okay with that, but to embrace that and bring them into our circle with their differences. Not trying to change them, but trying to expand ourselves and our understanding. We don't want to be so insular and so insulated that we forget that there are others out there. Again, in Matthew chapter 5, Jesus reminds us to let our light shine, to put our light on the top of a mountain, not hide it in a bushel basket, not hide it under a bushel, but instead to be able to share with someone else what you believe, to share with someone else of your treasure, to do good in a food bank or in a lineup at the grocery store, but just to do something that lets your light shine. How can I be a light to others? Now, in our community at Unity of New Westminster, we see this in our food bank, and we see this in our little food pantry that we've just created in the last six months. The idea of being able to get in the flow of giving so that others may partake and receive from our good. We give to places that are doing amazing work that we couldn't do ourselves, but they are expert at. And so we support. In our spirit groups, what we're hoping is that every group will have some sort of project in service to the community. What that might look like is up to the group. And the group will decide. In our lives, in our individual lives, we can ask ourselves, what can we give? What is my gift that I can share with the world? It could be money. It could be a talent. It could be a message. It could be stepping out and making contact with someone that we're not that comfortable with. Even that is community. So I invite you to think about what it is that you have, that you bring, and that you can share to the larger community. And then the final C, challenge. Challenge. Unity's fifth principle is basically says that it's not enough for you to know all these really smart things, these really wise spiritual things, and put your spiritual hat on and know all of this good stuff and say all of these good things if you don't live it. Now, they say it much more politely than I did, but you get the idea. The idea is that we want to actually live in contentment. And so one of the ways to do that is to challenge ourselves in these 4 previous things and identify where we might want to grow. So do we want to grow in our awareness of our inner experience with God? Do we want to grow in our relationship skills? Do we want to grow in our ability to have compassion and be with people in their pain? Do we want to be in a place where we become more present to people, more with them wherever they are? Or do we want to grow in a place where we actually just want to get involved in something in our community to serve something greater? So at each spirit group, and essentially the reason you are watching today is because you have already embraced the idea of challenge. You've already embraced the idea of, I am willing to be inspired. I am willing to have thoughts brought to me that I can then hold up and say, yes, this is something that connects with me. I'm going to try it. Or, no, that doesn't work for me right now. It is through challenge that we move forward. In the Quran, it says, my Lord, increase me in knowledge. It is not enough to know intellectually. We want to live in our values and our beliefs. And that means overcoming years of belief systems that we may have become so used to that we don't even know we have them. Those habits that we have. The Buddha has the best quote that I have found yet. It reads, when you know for yourselves that these qualities are unskillful, these qualities are blameworthy, these qualities are criticized by the wise, these qualities when adopted and carried out lead to harm and suffering, then you should abandon them. Well, duh. Yeah, of course we should abandon them. The question is, how? We know we want to abandon things that cause suffering, that are criticized by the wise, that are unskillful, and that are blameworthy. And the challenge that we face is how to do that, how to unlearn our habitual behaviors and reset. And I believe that these principles, this framework of 5 C's, are a perfect place to start. Because you get to pick, how am I doing in my relationship with my higher self, with the God of my understanding or the God of my faith? How am I doing taking care of me, which is inherent in that? How am I doing taking care of my existing relationships? Are they loving and content-filled? Are they joy-filled? How am I doing in taking care and showing other people, reaching out to them with cards and celebration for the sadnesses and the joys in their lives? And how am I doing in connecting with my greater community, realizing that I'm part of a greater, more joyful world? And how do I connect with that outer world? And how am I doing with learning, with growing, with expanding my awareness. When we have these 5 C's in right relationship to each other, it is my belief that they will lead to a life of contentment. And so I invite you to think in terms of communion with yourself, with your God, connection with the people who you already know, and how you may make those connections stronger. Compassion for all, and how you may genuinely be present for celebration and for sadness. Community, becoming aware of all, not just the people we know. And challenge, continual growth, continual change, continual expansion. They all lead to contentment. Let's take this into a time of quiet meditation. I invite you to close your eyes with me and just rest. If you are busy doing something and are able to put it down for just 30 seconds, I invite you to do so. Give yourself permission to arrive here. As we ask, where am I called? Where am I longing to expand? Which of these practices are reaching out to me as I am reaching out to them? Perhaps I am called to spend more time in the silence, in meditation, in prayer, in stillness. If so, what am I willing to put down to make space for this practice of communion? Maybe that which is calling to me is connection. To become more authentic in my relationships. To reach out and touch someone that I love. To let them know I'm thinking of them and that I appreciate them. Where am I feeling a longing to express compassion more effectively? Perhaps a loving phone call to someone in pain. Perhaps a joyful phone call to someone who's having a birthday. having a baby, getting married. Where am I feeling the need to connect with people who are different? People who I am not familiar with, who are part of a greater community. Where can I be of service to the entire community of humanity with my gift of time or treasure or talent? And where am I willing to challenge myself? Where am I willing to change? Knowing that in change there is growth. And there is contentment. And so it is.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deep, my love, go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
Thank you, Walt. I want to bring you up to date on everything that is happening at New Westminster. But before I do that, I want to share with you a messenger message that I just received from our beloved Aaron Johannes, who is a graphics recorder. And so as I was speaking, he was drawing. And you may not see this. I'm sure you can't see it, but I will show it to you later. I'll post it as a slide next week. How about that? But I just wanted to share with you how excited I was to receive that. Thank you, Aaron. Just a reminder that this Thursday on Zoom at 11 o'clock, we are having our prayer service. These are the regular things that we do every week. A prayer service at 11 on Zoom. No prior prayer experience required, just a chance for us to get together, and I lead the service, and we hold the people whose names are on the prayer list up in our intention and our love in this way. If you would like to be added to the prayer list or know someone else who might benefit from being held in that blanket of love, then please email or phone us. And if you would like to have some one-on-one prayer with someone who will pray with you and hold you in their heart, then again, please let us know. Silent Unity is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week prayer service as well. So you call in, or you can email them, or actually submit a prayer request through their app. And someone on the other end will say, how will we pray with you? How can we pray with you? And again, it is a powerful experience. If you have never experienced prayer with Silent Unity, please reach out. I totally encourage it. Today, after the service at 12:30, which is coming up really quickly, we are going to have a community conversation. As I mentioned in my talk earlier, that our place for connection has become quite challenged. And so what we would like to do is get your ideas about how we might be able to connect with each other more effectively. And so I invite you to join us in that. Aaron is going to facilitate that for us. And then a reminder that the annual meeting is 2 weeks from today, also on Zoom at 12:30. So please join us for that. Starting tomorrow, we are starting our Spirit Group program. We have 2 groups that will be in our inaugural launch, and one of them is a group for people who are interested in writing. Again, no writing experience required, no church experience required, and no fee. So no reason at all for you not to join. Come on in. Everybody has thoughts, and if everybody has thoughts, everybody can put them on paper. Yes, maybe the time that you discover that you are more talented and more able to do this than you thought you were. And that in itself could meet that challenge idea that I spoke about. And then on Thursday at noon, right after the prayer service, we take about a 5-minute break. We will move into the first of our curricula style groups, and that is called Inspiring Infinite Connections, your guide to creating heaven on earth. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Your guide to I can't even say it. Your guide to creating heaven on earth. And that one is taking a deeper dive every week into these 5 C's. Now, how the Spirit groups work is this week is considered week 0. So we actually don't do any of the curriculum. We just speak to everyone to get a sense of what they're hoping for. We lay out the 5 C's and get a sense of who might be interested in what challenge. Lay out a little bit about the curriculum, and then starting next week is when we actually get into 6 full weeks of talking curriculum-related stuff on Thursdays, and starting to report back with writing and doing some writing during our writers group. Phew, that sounded like a lot. Next, Daily Word. Just a reminder that if you are interested in sharing your reading and speaking skills, as Sharon did today, then please let us know, and we will schedule you in to be part of the Daily Word Readers Group. After the service, a reminder, please join us at 12:30. That hopefully will give you time to grab a coffee or grab a refreshment of some kind, and then join us for our community conversation. There are so many ways to give to our community, and I am so grateful to all of this group of amazing people who are watching today for their generosity in their time, in watching today, in their talent, and in the sharing of their treasure. We are so blessed to have people who care for us so deeply and care for our message so deeply. Thank you for your contribution. And so I invite you to hold your gift, whatever it may be, in your heart as we sing our blessing song.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Thank you again for joining us today. A special shout out to Walt, who is working on the vMix and the Stream Deck software over here, to Jerry, who is maintaining the website and the YouTube live presence, to Alexandra, who is on the Zoom presence, and to Aaron, who is on Facebook. It is so amazing to work with people who are so committed to our community, and it is such a blessing to know that we have so much support right here. See you in a little while, 12:30 on Zoom. Have a wonderful week, everybody.
That was meant to be with God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now, with every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. You are the light of God. You are the love of God. You are the power of God. You are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the